Today I'm going to show you how I use the Dehancer plugin inside of Resolve to completely transform my footage into something that looks cinematic. You dig me? Hey, between me and you, they got a mobile version too. You can actually download Dehancer on your phone and use it for your photos and videos on your phone. But we'll get there. Let's go. The Dehancer Film Emulation plugin is inspired by real analog film. It's built to look and feel like 35mm and 16mm film, and it got a lot of other film stocks as well. The development while using it is actually kind of like film development. So it takes you step by step through the process as if you were doing or really shooting on film. And disclosure, Dehancer did reach out to me and asked me for my opinion on the Dehancer plugin, and they did not pay me to say anything good about them. They actually asked me for my real world opinion. I'm gonna give them that. Actually, to be honest, I was using Dehancer before they even reached out. Dehancer's gotta be one of my favorite plugins because it just get rid of that digital look. So especially, when shooting Sony, it can be extra sharp and kind of too clean. When you're using Dehancer, it actually gives you that film look and characteristics. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be using some Sony FX3 footage, some iPhone 17 Pro footage, and Sony A7 IV footage. So that way you can see what it does to high quality footage and iPhone quality footage. And like I said, it does take the edge off. So let's hop into DaVinci. All right, so now we're hopping into editing. This is a clip from one of my most recent projects with Campbell University, and I filmed this on the Sony FX3 using the Tamron 28-75 2.8, and as you can see, it already came out pretty good. But let's hop in and I'm gonna show you how I grade. So what I like to do, I like to make 3 tabs. Well, we're gonna do 5. I like to do 5 tabs, and on my first one is I like to do this as noise reduction. I'm gonna add a label. And then on here, I like to use this as my CST/LUT. Inside of DaVinci Resolve, you can use a CST, which is a color space transform, but I have my specific looks that I like, so I normally use the Phantom LUTs. Joel made a LUT to convert your Sony footage into RA footage, basically, or to the color signs. Let's see which one look better. Okay, I'm liking the natural feel on this one. Looks a little better. So now if you look at my scopes, I'm a little bit overexposed. So what I like to do here, we're gonna do this expose. So I like to do this with my exposure. So what I like to do is bring down the global in the HDR tab. So I'm not clipping, and boom. You see how that looks? That's basically one click and changing the exposure, and got a pretty good image. As long as you set your white balance pretty good, you'll get a great image straight out of camera. Now let's get to the sauce, the Dehancer. So let's go to Dehancer. Let's get to the sauce. So the only thing I don't like about Dehancer, man, is whenever you add the actual plugin, it automatically goes to this look, and it's kind of like it irks me a little bit. That's like one of the biggest cons I have. I wish whenever you add it, added it as a clean slate, so that way you don't have to worry about turning all the effects off. And then so what I like to do, I like to go all the way down to the bottom, disable all tools, and then go back up to the top, and then I pick my film stock. So I'm a 500T 250D type person. To me, that gives you the best look as far as commercial wise. So for this one, I want to go 500T. Let's turn that on. Boom. Okay, you see how it lifts your shadows and everything. So what you can do, what I like to do is, so the push and pull on here is basically, it's really moving like film. So like if you pull, push, so I like to get it down to where it looks good again. And then I want to warm this up just a tad here. All right, so now I'm looking at my black points. Since this is like a commercial, high key commercial, like a little more contrast. So I'm gonna bring my black points down. Oh, I gotta enable it first. Bring my black points down. All right, there. Let's see what my whites at. My whites is good. Color compressor. So this right here gives you more information than your highlights, which I like, and it compresses your footage like film. And let's see. So what I need to do, I need to go back to my HDR tab. I brought that down a whole stop. So let's bring that up a little bit more so we get a little more juice. Boom. All right. That looks pretty good. Now I'm giving my secret sauce away again. So the Dehancer is definitely my secret sauce. Look how it gives you like the filmic colors off rip, how everything kind of like stays in place. But this is going to be, you know, what turns your footage up a little bit more. So what I like to do, I like to go to the color space, change it to HSV. Shout out to that boy Kazi. He, you know what I'm saying, he put us on as far as color grading. And take channels 1 and 3 off, right? So then you go to your color wheels and you turn up your global, right? This will give your image a filmic saturation. So I bring that back down a little bit. That's a little bit too much. Boom. So now, boom, look what you got. That's crazy. That's what that saturation does. You see how good that HSV saturation is with those filmic tones with Dehancer? So then what I like to go back to Dehancer. Sometimes the print is a little bit too much for me. But if I do use print, I like to use the glossy. But you see how like it makes it a little bit too much, and then same thing with the 2383. It's a little bit too powerful for me, so I just kind of leave that off. And then, but I do use the halation and the bloom. Then I just turn the bloom down just a little bit. Then I see what I got. So that's just softens the image up so it doesn't look as sharp and digital to me. That's like one of my favorite things to use in Dehancer is the bloom and the actual halation. Then we're gonna go to the grain. Everybody loves grain, man. So now we put that on. It's coming on too strong. So what I like to do, I like to back it off. I like putting it like probably like 1. See, it still changes the image, but not too much. I don't like it to be as noticeable. So let's zoom in. Let me show you. See how it gives it that texture right there? I know YouTube compression probably compresses it a little bit, but you see how it gives you that? So now we got a good image right here. Look at that. Great image. Look like we shot it on film, man. That do not look like a Sony FX3. Telling you. The Dehancer plugin is chef's kiss. All right, let's go to the next slide. So go to my LUT. I think I'm gonna use Utopia for this one. Boom. Okay, cool. See how it's a little bit bright because of the lights at the concert. So we're gonna bring this down just a tad until we about right here. Right there looks good. And I shot this in vertical format. They wanted the deliverable to be in vertical form. That's why it looks like this. I don't know why everybody's going away from the 16:9. Me personally, I like 16:9, but that's neither here or there. That's another topic for another day. Let's do this. Then what we do, bring on our dehancer. Man, that's crazy. This time it actually looks all right coming on. You know how I said dehancer, sometimes it comes on too strong, but I think if I just bring down the grain a little bit, it's probably like a 0.1. It's not bad. A little bloom. Bring that back a little bit. Let's do my HSV for the saturation. Actually, but now this is a this footage right here. We shot this recently as a commercial project, and it was filmed on the iPhone 17 Pro. I'm gonna show you that by using Dehancer, it can completely transform almost any footage and get rid of that digital look, man. And I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna use 3 nodes. One for exposure, one for my CST, one for Dehancer. Let's do that. So, like I said, Joel from Alaro actually made iPhone Lux as well. He hasn't dropped the one for the iPhone 17 yet, but I still just use the one from the iPhone 15 and 16. Let's go Utopia. And like, you see what I mean? Like, this is a iPhone, y'all. Like, no special stuff, just straight iPhone shooting on the lens. I did have an ND filter on to get that to keep my shutter angle rule. To keep my shutter angle at 180. The Blackmagic camera app actually gives you a lot of control. So shooting in a native iPhone camera app is not too good, but for me, I like having control. So boom, you see that? And now we throw the enhancer on. Okay, like I said, I just hate that it does that. So we're gonna disable that. We're gonna go with 500T. What about 50D? Let's try something different. 250. Let's try 250D. 200T. Okay, I like the warmth of the 200T. I'm gonna go to 250D. We go 250D, and then we're gonna go here. We're gonna warm it up. Warm it up. I'm gonna bring. Look at my scopes. I'm gonna bring the mid-tones up a little bit, man. About right there. Then I gotta bring the highlights down. I'm gonna go to HDR tool too and bring the highlights down. Okay, we're going Dehancer. Turn on that. Y'all see that? Look how much you get back. Just look at the scopes right here. Look at the scopes right here. Look how much you get back. Information you get back in your footage. Man, Dehancer is like, that's what I'm saying. So then we go down here. Do a little film grain. Oh, I'm gonna do the halation first. Do a little halation. Do a little bloom. Get rid of that iPhone sharpness. Put that at about 7. Let's see. Yeah, I like what that's doing. For the greatness, we'll put that grain back at like 1.6. Y'all see that? Look at that, man. This looks like real film, and like, look how the bloom and the halation just rolls off. Like, see? You see that? It's the halation right there, man. This is iPhone footage, y'all. So to me, grain just gives the image texture. Cause like right here, I feel like it's just too clean. So throw that grain on here, gives it that red Komodo feel. I lied to y'all. We gotta add one more node, man. I gotta get my saturation in. I'm gonna use my HSV format, color space, HSV. Remember, take channels 1, take channels 3 off, leave 2. Go to gain and turn that bad boy up. About right there. So I go to gamma. Gamma brings bring up the lower. Just making his face look too red. I want them green saturated back there. Yeah, all right there. I'm gonna have to go to the, let's try this. Hue versus sat, green, yellow. It's gonna be probably right here. Bring that up. Oh man, I lost some information back here, but it's all good. It's all good, but just look. This is crazy, bro. This is iPhone footage. Look at that, man. So Dehancer also has a application that you can use on the phone. Photos. Let's do this one. So this is from my recent vacation. And look at that, that's my last edit. I didn't even do anything. So it actually, that's one other thing I like. It takes your last edit and saves it. And so that way, whenever you hop back in and upload your photo, it automatically like, look at that. That's the before, after, but we're gonna start over. We're gonna start over from scratch. I'm gonna go to original. And as you can see, the original not bad. This was shot on the 17 Pro. The original is not bad, and it also has like automatically has presets. As you can see, all the presets does emulate film. Oh dang, that was kind of fire too. But I want the colors to pop. I love Kodak. So look at that, man. You don't even have to do nothing, no adjustments. But if you did want to make adjustments, you can click your preset and then you can click edit. You see how I turned the exposure down? If I want to turn the exposure up, I can, but I'm gonna leave it kind of like where it was at. Saturation, let's do a little more density. You can never have too much density. All right, so right here, like you said, you have like film emulation tools here at the bottom. You have the source. Like you said, this is the source footage where you can bring it up, bring it down, which is your original footage. And then you have film, like what film you want to apply to it. You have the development tool where you can boost your contrast, gamma, color separation, color boost. Let's do a little color boost there. Bring a little more color to it. Now it's popping. Compression, like you said, you can see how much it impacts. Love film compression because to me, it just brings it down and makes it a little more cinematic. Expand, like I said, your black and white points, I kind of leave that as same. Also, this, like I said, Kodak, the Kodak glossy paper is like one of my favorite print profiles because I feel like it just, the contrast or something in it just gives it that pop for me. And you can change the 2383, the famous 2383 right there. Yeah, that's not bad. You know what, I'm gonna keep that. And you color head, if you want to, you can change like, you know, the colors in the film or whatever. Yeah, that's low key kind of, all right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there too. You can add your film grain as well, your halation, this automatically added bloom, and your vignette. Like I said, overscan as well. Oh dang, they got these like overscan like profiles templates, so you can use those as well if you wanted to. But I kind of like this as well. Look at that, before, after, before, after. Man, you can't beat the Dehancer plugin, man, and mobile application. My final thoughts, Dehancer has changed how I approach color grading and filmmaking. I used to think I would have to hire a colorist to color grade all of my commercial work, but now since I have Dehancer, man, like I don't even think about it. I just know Dehancer got my back, you know, especially with everything going to the film look, like Nike, Reebok, all of those commercials has like a film look. All the videos that's been shot using the actual film look, like the 500T, 250D, you know, so on and so forth, the 2383 print. And you can get that same look by using this plugin, man. Like you can, if you sign up for the free trial, you can get that same look like right now. So If you're looking to buy or use Dehancer, make sure you use the code D2R and you'll get a discount. You know, that's from me to you all. I'm trying to look out and save y'all some money on, you dig me? And on this channel, we invest in ourselves. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to see more content with Dehancer, let me know. I'll shoot a film and color grade it. All here for y'all. Everything's for y'all, man. This is for you. It's your boy D2RG Mac. I'm out. You dig me?